Welcome to this episode of our program, Arab Affairs. As usual, we will be discussing important Arab files. Today, we'll be speaking about the outcome of the visit of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to a three-leg African tour that took him to Angola, Zambia, and Mozambique. In Zambia, he attended the 32nd COMESA summit and held talks in the three countries with his African leaders or the African counterparts. A number of regional and international issues were raised during his meetings, and definitely his speech in the COMESA was very much emphasized on the integration among the African member states, particularly the bloc of COMESA plus the IAC and SADC. And the president there addressed a number of important African causes. On top of them was the security and stability and economic integration among the member states. We'll be also speaking about the development in Sudan. The president has already spoken about the development in Sudan and addressed this issue. In our third part of the episode, we'll be speaking about how Egypt is welcoming the 6+6 meeting that took place in Morocco and the developments in Libya. We'll be speaking about that. Before we delve into our discussion, let's first have a quick look on the Arab news before we delve into our discussion. And the first top story that just happened this morning: President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi visited on Saturday the military academy in an inspection tour. The presidential spokesman, Councillor Ahmed Fahmy, said that the president went to the military academy at dawn shortly after his return from the African tour. The president witnessed a number of activities in the military academy during the tour. The president said that Egypt is hosting about 9 million foreigners who flee the instability and unrest in their country. He added that the state exerts utmost effort to mitigate the repercussions of the global economic crisis, crises that greatly affected the prices in Egypt. Concerning the Sudanese file, the head of state expressed Egypt's deep well and aspiration for a ceasefire and giving the opportunity for a concrete dialogue, noting that Egypt has welcomed more than 200,000 Sudanese citizens due to the latest crisis. Right, before we continue on with our discussion, let's first have a quick look on the Arab news that took place during this week, and we'll come back for more discussion.
Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli stressed the strength of Egyptian-Saudi ties, saying that huge efforts are being exerted during the current stage to boost these ties. Madbouli made these remarks during his meeting with Saudi Minister of Industry and Mineral Resources, Bandar bin Ibrahim Al Kharif, and his accompanying delegation at the government headquarters in the new administrative capital, where they discussed means of enhancing cooperation between the two countries. The meeting was attended by Minister of Trade and Industry Ahmed Samir, as well as a number of Saudi officials. The minister said that the meeting also tackled the significance of exchanging expertise between the ministries of industry of the two countries, adding that the delegation of businessmen from Egypt and Saudi Arabia will convene to discuss the opportunities of joint cooperation. Egypt welcomed the efforts of 6+6 Joint Committee formed by Libyan House of Representatives and Supreme Council aimed to prepare laws of the Libyan elections. Egypt also expressed its appreciation for Morocco's hosting of the activities of the committee. Foreign Ministry urged the Libyan House of Representatives and Supreme Council to resume its role in accordance with the Shikrite Agreement with the aim of holding presidential and parliamentary elections as soon as possible to achieve the aspiration of the Libyan people. The Foreign Ministry called on all parties involved in the Libyan crisis to support the ongoing efforts to implement the desired goal and restore stability in Libya. The Speaker of House of Representatives, Hanafi Al-Gibali, met with head of the Jordanian Judicial Council, Judge Mohammed Al-Ghazou, in the capital Amman. The Jordanian top officials hailed the historic ties binding Egypt and Jordan, describing both countries' relations as strong and covered political, economic, and social fields. Both sides hailed the deeply rooted ties between Egypt and Jordan, calling for increasing cooperation in various fields, namely the judiciary field. Tens of Israeli settlers stormed the country yards of Al-Aqsa Mosque secured by Israeli occupation troops. Palestinian sources in Jerusalem stated that the settlers carried out provocative tours in the mosque and performed rituals. In another development, the occupation forces arrested 14 Palestinians in occupied West Bank, as sources said that heavy clashes erupted between Israeli forces and Palestinian civilians in Jenin. This came as the occupation army bombed the vehicle of a Palestinian prisoner father after attacking the latter's house. Saudi Arabia and the U.S. announced on Friday that the Sudanese warring factions have agreed on a nationwide ceasefire for 24 hours starting on Saturday. In another development, Sudan notified the United Nations that it had declared Volker Perthes, the representative of the United Nations Secretary General and the head of the UNITAMS mission, persona non grata. The Sudanese Foreign Ministry statement came just weeks after Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan accused Perthes of stoking the country's conflict and requested his removal. On the ground, the Sudanese army soldiers paramilitaries fought for control of a military facility in Khartoum, where a fire raged at an oil and on Thursday. The battles came a day after the powerful paramilitary rapid support forces announced in a statement they had wrested the full control of the Yarmouk weapons manufacturing and arms depot complex.